Pull my heart out of my chest, train my mind so I forget. Sink your teeth into my bones, dig me out, then fill the hole. Tear me apart and watch it burn. Tear me apart and watch it burn. All that's left is a window to my soul. Come and get it. Mouth to mouth, I breathe you in. Swallow down your jagged sin. Let it drown inside my veins. The sweetest poison I could take. You make it an art, the way that you scar with every word. But before we reach the end, strip me down again. Come and get it one more time. If you wanna lose your mind, come and get it one more time. If you wanna lose your mind, come and get it. Come and get it.
Invincible.
Hello, everybody. We just need to sort out a little bit of glitchiness, which happens. Unfortunately, with the whole custom games thing and all that nonsense. So we should be good to go. Both teams are. I think both teams are ready. No, are we still having glitches? Come on. This is Blizzard's fault. Alright, that's one team R. Both teams ready. Alright. Look. Have fun. There we go. And I'll see you guys in a second. Alright everybody, welcome to the matchup between Full Metal Jacket and Can't Counterpick Stupid. So, as I'm sure you guys saw on the last screen, don't know why that wasn't denied, but there we go. But yeah, as you guys saw on the last screen, we've already done the map bans and such, and if you're wondering how we got here, on the left side, Full Meta Jacket banned out Brax's Holdout and Towers of Doom, and on the right side we had banned out Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple, leading to a Full Meta Jacket pick for Dragonshire. Going back to the draft, I'm using the wrong transition. Whoops. I'm professional. We know how this thing works. But yeah, we have an Orphea ban coming out from the side of Can't Counterpick Stupid, and a Mal'Ganis ban coming out from the side of Full Meta Jacket. So far, nothing crazy meta ban. I'm assuming that the Orphea is a targeted ban. I don't know enough about Full Meta Jacket to say for sure. But a Greymane ban. Lots of sustained damage can come out of there, as well as a lot of aggression and dive. Also the camp clear. As this is Dragonshire, camps are fairly important. I will probably go to the poll while we're loading. I'm kind of curious who you guys are voting for. Alright, an Arthas ban coming out from the left side. Interesting that we got a Greymane counter banned as well as Greymane. It doesn't usually work like that, but hey. Trash talk going on in both chats right now. Alright, a Stugov pick coming out from Camp Counterpick Stupid. Very solid on this map with the point control. And solid in general, that ARM can do work in the lower tiers of play. As well as a pretty reliable slow, and if you can nail that route on 13, that can team wipe if you play it right. There's the Joe, which we typically see on the first pick, but it's fair coming out as second. And a Vala. Lots of agility, lots of damage. That arrow can fly for days. She also brings a fair amount of wave clear with her W and camp clear. She's pretty good all-rounder DPS, in my opinion. I don't usually like seeing her picked this early, as she can be pretty easily countered. But ETC Jaina, that Mosh Ring of Frost, that is always something you have to fear and respect. And with the Stukov, yeah, that's gonna be scary. That's gonna be really scary. Vala does have an interrupt, Johanna does have an interrupt. Johanna actually has 2 interrupts, which is nice. Thrall ban coming out from Full Meta Jacket. Very fair ban. I could see Earthquake leading to a lot of death, as well as Sunder just kind of separating out the team, setting up for that Mosh. It's a pretty solid stun. And he's just a solid laner in general. I am starting to wonder if we will see... I guess not. We won't see a Rexar ban. I wonder if we'll see him picked up from either side. Brings a lot of point control, a lot of soak, a lot of camp clear. It is interesting to see the Brightwing trying to get rid of that global healer, as well as the Polymorph. The Polymorph can be devastating to a Mosh engage. Excuse me. I'm very curious what we'll see here. Lucio, lots of sustained healing, and an Alarak. Now, an Alarak into this enemy team is quite terrifying. They really need to pick up something to deal with the Alarak, but I'm curious whether we'll see a solo lane Alarak or if it'll be in the 4-man. We'll have to see. Yeah, I was just thinking that, Hot's throwaway. No Rexar. Wonder if we'll see it. Doesn't look like we'll see one this game. But we will see a Rainer Phoenix. A solo frontline ETC. I mean, the Jaina Rainer is always solid. Jaina Phoenix is always solid. Like, there's a lot of synergies there, but having only one frontline, especially against an Alarak, I guess we'll have to see how that works out for him. But, definitely going to be an interesting game one, to say the least. And Sagara to round out our draft. So a solo frontline Johanna as well. Like I said, interesting draft to say the least. I'm guessing Zagara is going to be in the solo lane. Versus... I have no idea. Rainer? Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Anyway, going back quickly to the map pick screen while we load and get ready for the game. Very quickly, I am going to pull up the poll because I am very curious where the poll is sitting at for this game. So I'll leave it up while you guys fill it out because there's only one vote. So go ahead, and the poll is down below the slides. It's the second poll. So go ahead and fill that out. Yeah, I'll have to see who's the favorite team here. It's a 40-second delay. We're not really seeing any polls coming out, but oh well. We'll look after game one. For now, we have a game to play. So on the right side, we have RTB on Jaina, Valkilmer on ATC, Caladorn on Stukov, Silma on Phoenix, and Osprey on Rainer.
Battle commencing in...
As for the left side, I know normally people do left to right, but hey.
5.
Also, this isn't working. Why is this not working?
2, 1. Let the battle begin.
I made a mistake. Fixed. Mistake fixed. But for the left side, we have Undead on Lucio, Modus Tolan on Johanna, Barber on Alarak, Runtime Logic on Vala, and Judgerob on Zarya. So I missed a lot already, because I messed up. But we see a lot of early clear coming out for the right side, but a lot of early damage coming out for the left. Looks like both teams are going to just do a standard 4-man rotation between these lanes, making sure to pick up those XP orbs. A lot of anchoring coming out from that ETC, which is always scouted out by the Lucio, but apparently not. We do see Vala going straight for that siege camp as soon as it comes up. Very nice. Vala going a lot faster on that camp than Jaina, as she does not yet have her 7 or her damage increase from her 1 quest. So she's going to be a little slow, but in the later games she will pick up. Looks like we are missing some XP for top, and it does look like Phoenix is out trading the Zagara quite a bit. Oh, but that's a close matchup. Both sides playing very aggressive, willing to lose a lot of health to get damage on the other person. Very quickly, let's look at talents. Well, not a whole lot's going on. It looks like the Alarak is going for a E-build with Show of Force.
Blue team draws first blood.
Oh! Missed that kill. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it looks like Zag got the first kill up top and will capture that point. Unfortunately, blue team does not have control over this bottom shrine, which does in fact mean that they will not be able to get the Dragon Knight quite yet. These siege camps are gonna get, siege minion, single minion, is gonna get a fair amount of value if not dealt with. Speaking of dealt with, this Zag, we might see a gank here in a second, as she doesn't know Phoenix is here yet. Maybe? I'm not sure, but we do have a fight coming out on bot lane, a 4v2. Johanna engaging quite fiercely. But just kind of backing off as, yeah, looks like both sides are just gonna kind of disengage and wait for a 3v3. Arm does come out, trying to zone out that bush. The Vala getting quite low. ETC slides in, stunning 2. Telekinesis misses on the ETC. Getting lots of E pokes, but none of the E stacks that he needs to complete that quest. Big slide coming out. That might be a Lucio death. No, he uses the push off to get out, and Raynor getting very low from the Alarak. That silence almost led to his death, but he was just barely able to get his E up. Looks like both sides are going to try and fight over this mid. That's a Jaina gank if I've ever seen one. Big combo between the Alarak and the Johanna, leaving little hope for escape for Jaina. Meanwhile, they're rotating back down to try and get this point, with the right team completely separated. But it doesn't look like they want to fight, instead just focusing on getting that point. Alarak is getting a little attacked up top, but nothing that he can't handle. ETC just able to slide straight out of that fight. And a kill on Zagara this time, as opposed to the Phoenix. I get a feeling that this will be how this game goes in the top lane. Just trading kills for kills. Jaina very far out of position, yet again, getting completely harassed by the enemy team, but luckily ETC does slide in this time to save her life. Again, the channel is available for the right team, but they decide instead to just push this bot lane while everyone's mid. They should be able to get at least that tower. Doesn't look like it, though. Big slide coming out from the ETC. He's not entirely able to walk straight out. Big pull onto the Stukov, losing half of his health instantaneously. Phoenix does go down in the top lane, so the left team no longer needs to win this fight. It's just added benefit. This might be a channel up and available, and it is a channel up and available for the left team, as well as a kill coming out on the ETC. And yeah, the left team does rotate up to try and grab that Dragon Knight, with Jaina going up to try and interrupt by getting that top tower. Arm does interrupt the channel, and Jaina does get top just barely, as well as Raynor stepping on the bot point here. And he barely manages to make it out of that Rain of Vengeance. I'm pretty sure if that stun landed, that would have been a dead Raynor. Meanwhile, the back and forth continues up top as Zagara does show back up for the fight. And this is a 3v4 down here with Jaina trying to catch that mid-soak, trying to get a little bit of a level advantage for her team, but that's not going to matter as a big stun comes out on Raynor. The swipe's trying to cause disengage. A mosh on 2 people, to shield to interrupt it, and a kill on the ETC coming from the Alarak, as well as the counter-strike coming out. Alarak falling very quickly. Shield barrier does come out to try and keep the Alarak alive and healthy, but I don't think it was needed. Arm just kind of harassing the enemy team at this point. Meanwhile, Phoenix is getting that top point, while the left team is controlling this bottom point with a vengeance. Does look like there's going to be an invade coming out from the left team on this camp, and they're still disorganized. I don't know if they can fight this, especially with Raynor not having any mana. ETC does go straight in, trying to stun people into the arm, and sure enough, they do manage to fight it. Relatively for free, too. Johanna just blowing up those waves. Let's quickly look at the ultimates that we're seeing here while both teams are just kind of poking at each other. So as we saw, the failing swipes are coming out from the Stukov, allowing for a quick disengage rather. Oh, Jaina again coming out in the mid lane as she was trying to get that channel. Risky and did not pay off. Anyway, we do have the Planet Cracker coming out from the Phoenix, allowing for that global damage, especially onto the Mosh. That might be very terrifying issue to consider for the future. We do see the Hyperion as well as the Water Elemental, as well as a Phoenix gank up top that I missed. My bad. Big stun coming out on the Lucio, as well as the ETC. Nothing's going to come of either of those, though. The Mosh Pit again from the ETC. We also saw that. Counter-Strike from the Alarak. Again, we saw that. Get a fair bit of value. Devouring Maul coming from the Zagara, which is a bit of an interesting pick in my opinion. Oh, big fight coming out here again. Lucio very far out of position. I don't know if he's going to get out of here. Planet Cracker coming all the way from spawn. Jaina does kill Zagara in the top lane. That Planet Cracker doesn't kill anyone, but does scare away the enemies. Lucio's still very low, but he should be able to heal himself up just fine. Alarak and Vala trying to defend this mid-channel. But the bottom blue fort is falling very quickly. All it takes is a slight invade like this, and that fort could be history. Having to defend two major points is costing the left team quite a lot. We are seeing a rotation coming down on these three. Big stun coming out from both the Johanna and the Vala, leading to one kill on the Stukov and another on the Raynor. Those Lucio auto attacks just seem to follow you everywhere you go. So a fort for 2 kills, not exactly a favorable trade. However, this might give them the Dragon Knight if Zagara can push out the Jaina, who's actually trading very well into a Zagara, which is kind of surprising. Phoenix does barely warp out with single-digit health. Not single-digit health. Actually, his health bar is small enough that might have been single-digit. But still, very narrow. Also, thank you for the follow, Shives. And welcome to the community. Alarak pretty far out of position. That could have been a kill, just those two, if they engaged a little harder, but not knowing where the enemy team was is fair. Swipes coming out, but interrupted. ETC is still able to walk away, but wasting the shield. Which isn't the longest cooldown, but it's long enough to worth mentioning. I'm not sure about this Alarak's build. He seems to be going a telekinesis E build, and I don't know. I've just never seen it before. Big stun coming out, not big stun, small stun coming out from the Lucio to just kind of harass the ETC. We do see a big push coming in top with this Bruiser, the Phoenix, and the Jaina. They could easily take this fort with that camp if it's not contested, and it doesn't look like it's going to be. Instead, it looks like they want to trade fort for fort. But that is going to cost them majorly, as Counterpick Stupid picks up the first Dragon Knight of the game at 11 minutes. Looks like they're going to just try and finish this mid, get rid of the Alarak. It's funny watching people get kicked from this side of the fight. Yeah, just blowing up the mid, kicking some people. Nice Iron Skin to prevent the Johanna from getting kicked, and that is the Dragon Knight getting burned, only getting that mid fort. Everyone rotating up to try and save the Raynor from the kill that wasn't even planned. Instead, it looks like they want to try and pick up this bruiser, probably generate some macro pressure, probably deal with this down here. Meanwhile, the right team is deciding that they want this bottom bruiser here. Big push coming out top, though. It looks like they're going to try and trade Fort for Keep. With both of them being at 16, I don't know why they don't want to try and defend this. And they're finally starting to back to deal with this. But this is Siege, Hyperion, 4 men, and a Bruiser. This is not going to be an easy defense. This is at least going to get a front wall. There's no question at all. Discord Strike did get interrupted by the ETC. Speaking of interrupted, ETC's slide got interrupted, as well as apparently his mosh, which I did not see going out, allowing for that wave to be just decimated. Honestly, not sure how that Jaina made it out alive. She was quite in the thick of things, but I guess there just wasn't enough CCs after the ETC kill. Either way, that ETC kill is going to give them a lot of freedom, because Can't Counterpick Stupid now has no frontliners to really deal with anything. So they can just dive on squishies and not care about much of anything. As you can see right here, the Jaina's getting grabbed, the arm is trying to do a little bit of peeling. Discord Strike coming out on the Jaina, just blowing this fort apart. Planet Cracker comes in to zone out the retreat. That isn't happening. But if it was, then they would be dead. At the very least, it stalled them out from the getting to the point right away. Bought them a little bit of time to try and stabilize this map, as well as build up quite a wave on top lane. Meanwhile, with the top lane wave, they're trying to grab this bot soak. They already have this point, so there's no way that this mid is threatening at all to them. They are rotating very aggressively onto it. Lucio seems to be going straight in, but trying to interrupt. Big damage coming out on the ETCs, failing swipes to disengage. Shield almost stuns the ETC, but decides to stun the Jaina instead. Lucio falling very quickly with the shield barrier, sound barrier to allow him to walk away and survive. And even though they are able to capture this, they do not have the health to do so. Also, welcome Dread Serapher to the community, and thank you for following. A lot of aggression coming out on this Jaina. Another Discord Strike heading, just chunking Jaina for huge amounts. Now, the right team needs to worry. Never mind. I didn't see Phoenix up there. Another fight coming out here. Right team very disorganized so far, just barely getting here in time. Mosh pit into the Planet Cracker, but the Planet Cracker doesn't hit either of the two targets in the mosh pit, but it doesn't matter. It leads to 2 kills anyway. Johanna getting burned down very quick, using the Iron Skin to try and make a quick getaway. And it looks like she does so if that Elemental can't catch up in time, which it can't. Still a double kill, but still works out. Meanwhile, they decide that they want this keep while Phoenix goes and gets the Sunshine. Which is very fair. They'll probably rotate in to try and grab the Dragon Knight. 20's reached about the same time. Johanna getting burned down very quickly, needing to use the Blessed Shield to get out. Maw on the Jaina, leading to Jaina falling very quick and dying very quick, as there's nothing ETC can do from a Jaina who's just held in place. This might be a channel from Phoenix. Yep. Elric was not able to close the distance quick enough, getting poked by that minion so that he gets dismounted. With 2 Dragon Knights for the right side, both, well, the first one got moderate value. This one could be game-ending territory, as we are at level 20s. That keep is definitely dead, there's no question about that. Was that Blessed Shield? I thought I heard a Blessed Shield. I don't know how I heard a Blessed Shield, but I thought I heard a Blessed Shield. Looks like they are just going to disengage from here, not trying to push on core. Instead, they want to try and rotate it in and get another keep. try and open up another game-ending scenario for them. But they're going to lose a lot of Dragon Knight health doing this, as he is just getting absolutely shredded. And with the charge coming in from the Alarak, leading straight into a double kill with the Vala stun to follow that up. Another Vala stun coming out and a stun from Lucio. That ETC is burning fast and no hope. Deathmosh does manage to catch 2 people. Planet Cracker almost resetting Alarak's precious 162 sadism. Very, yeah, that was impressive. I really thought Alarak was gonna die there, to be honest. Meanwhile, blue team is going to pick up this camp, try and reset the map to a certain extent. Alarak's just gonna catch these XP globes and do his own thing. It does look like they're gonna invade here with still over 10 seconds for them to really do whatever they want. They might try and push keep with this. Everyone will be up for that push, so they'll either probably... Yeah, they're going to defend top instead, allowing this pressure to take care of itself for the most part. That is going to mean that these camps are free cleared by the enemy, and I honestly don't think they're going to save this fort. And apparently neither do they, because they're going to grab this camp. Oh no, they did decide to try and save the fort. Oh, I thought I saw a Kata there. Why did I see a Kata? That's a lane with a fort. I'm going insane. Well, we are entering another Dragon Knight phase, and I'm going to take a quick sip while nothing's happening. Speaking of nothing happening, Alarak's just going to charge his charge in a bush, threateningly.
Harness the power of sun and moon.
And do the same thing again. Not gonna lie, it's quite threatening, but there's no one there to charge. They do have vision on this bottom area thanks to that creep, which means they are coming in on the right team. Or rather, the right team is coming in on them. That was a very good bush gank. The Death Mosh does come out, with the Planet Cracker having gone out previously, not getting a whole lot of damage in that fight. Alarak's sadism is reset, though, as well as Vala falling. Still comes pretty low on the right side, but there's no way they can get to him to drop damage. However, the Jaina they can drop damage on, but it's not enough to kill her. With that sadism reset, that's going to put the Alarak in a very tough position, as he's now down to 80%, which, I mean, he was at, what, 162? So that's, oh, and that's going to be a Jaina kill, I think. Oh, no, swipes do come out to try and save the Jaina, and do successfully, and by just enough time for Raynor to capture top.
Is taking damage.
However, we do have 3 katas on this core that need to be dealt with immediately. 3 catapults is enough to get a few percent down. Nothing too terribly much, but in this sort of situation, you don't want to lose that percent. But you also don't want to lose the Dragon Knight, which they seem to be in a very big position to get. And Lucio does get the interrupt, but at the cost of his life. Johanna then comes in to try and continue the interrupt, but her Iron Skin is down. Speaking of down, there goes Zagara. Planet Cracker onto a corpse. Big ETC stun onto Johanna, who pops the Invincible, as well as her own Iron Skin. Phoenix trying to get the last bit of damage in, but not successfully doing so, as this is a 2-man dead push onto core, with Jaina trying to get more catapults up. There comes the Hyperion. The Dragon Knight is hitting that core for several hundred damage per swing, easily. And that core is just shredding, leading to a very quick and painful victory for Counterpick Stupid. So I'm going to contact these teams very quickly and figure out what map they are going to. So that is a right team victory. So what a game! That was a pretty impressive game. You want first pick or map pick? So just contacting the teams. I'm gonna quickly check the. Thank you for the follow. X-Pens? X-Pens! Let's try that. Can't Counterpick Stupid. What map do you choose? Alright. So I'm just trying to figure out what map they're going to. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to ignore the Troll Haunted Mines pick, though I know there are many people who want it. It looks like it's very evenly spread between Full Meta Jacket and Counterpick Stupid. Granted, it's 1 vote each, but hey. Okay, now the captain of Can't Counterpick Stupid is, unfortunately, Braxis is banned out. But I'm sure you'd love to see them go to Braxis. Alright, it looks like we are going to see a map. There we go. That's how that works. So I'm going to create the lobby quick and get our captains. Lobby link. Full Meta Jacket, please join in first. And update my casting overlay because I'm doing this on 2 things. Because why not? So, Can't Counterpick Stupid has decided to take us to the Infernal Shrines. And I lobby linked in the lobby! Because this totally isn't my first time doing this. Please join first. So we're gonna get Full Meta Jacket in the lobby first. So Team 1 does get first pick. Swap team. Lobby link. Welcome to join. All right. I was about to say it looks like we have everyone in, but no! As it did that weird thing where people join and then not join. Thank you for the follow, Keladorn, and welcome to the community. Glad to have you. I love that idea for a map. I love the idea of that idea. Teams are... Wait, aren't you the captain? You're the captain there. And I think you're the captain over there. Alright, we're good. Alright, we just gotta wait for a minute. One of the teams are running to the bathroom, as is typical between games. So I'm gonna double check the poll. It looks like Can't Counterpick Stupid pulls ahead with 1 vote. Pulls ahead by 1 vote, rather. So, still a close poll race. More people should get involved. Like, I have a too close to tell option. Surprised to only see 4 votes. Carbot circling. Nyah. Osprey says I'm the best caster. I don't think I am, because I'm brand new. But, there's such a good thing as a good Zag. I think we just saw a good Zag. I mean, anyone who can duel a Phoenix is pretty good at what they're playing, right? The poll is down below the game, like below the window. There's 2 polls down there. There's what's your favorite role, and then if you click the arrow over to the next like slide, then sorry, they're asking a question. Alright. Yeah, there. Thank you, Zoltos. This is why you're an admin. Ooh. Okay. Both R. That's 1 R. That's 2 R's. Good luck. Have fun. Toy Minion. Alright everybody! Welcome to game number 2! Can't Counterpick Stupid is up 1 in our series of 3. If you're wondering how we got here, allow me to show you. So, Brex's Holdout and Towers of Doom were banned out from Full Meta Jacket, as was Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple, also banned out by our right team, Can't Counterpick Stupid, which led to Full Meta Jacket picking up Dragon Shire, in which they lost. Map pick then was tossed over to Can't Counterpick Stupid, which they chose Infernal Shrines. I am not thinking straight all of a sudden. But we are now at Infernal Shrines, and we have a draft to do. So we have ETC banned out from the left side, as they don't want to deal with that mosh yet again, and another tank gets banned straight out, going with Mal'Ganis. Greymane then getting banned on our right side yet again. More trash talking in the chat, because of course there is. So if you're on Can't Counterpick Stupid, what do you ban here? I don't think there's anything that they really feared last game, so maybe another Orphea ban or a KT ban? Yep, another Orphea ban. Okay, Ektar, you tell me a better way to show the map picks and stuff. Okay, you give me a more efficient way to do it, and I'll do that. Speaking of our pickups, we do have the Johanna being picked up on the left side. Probably the most first-picked hero, at least in Div C. I say that, but last game was not a Johanna first pick. However, we do see a Rhaegar and a Lunara, both really solid on this map for the objectives as well as the camps. And that Lunara, if they don't pick the right healer, that Lunara poison damage could really become an issue as it spreads throughout the team, just slowly whittling just everybody down. Sorry, I'm looking at the Telem Swats Proteus band. Maybe, sometime in the future. We do see the Cassia and the Dahaka coming out on the left side for full meta jacket. Awesome! Glad you're on board, Hector! Everyone's doing it! Woo! But yeah, the I'm curious what they ban here. I honestly don't have any ideas off the top of my head. The Alarak! They don't want to see the Alarak again! That's very fair. Very, very fair. He was quite terrifying once he got to 120. Not 120, 160 sadism. 120 sadisms for plebs. Yes, Lunar Mistress, it is in fact a deer. I gotta get another drink. We do have an Arthas ban coming out from the left, followed immediately by a "Why do you do this?" in chat. So I'm guessing that's a target ban. Not one I'm familiar with, but who knows? I'm not super familiar with either of these teams, to be perfectly honest. I'm very curious what their plan is here. What do you pick up here? If you're Counterpick Stupid, what do you pick up here? Muradin, that's fair. And a Kerrigan! Huh. This is gonna be a Haymaker Muradin then. Might just... it could be Avatar. The Kerrigan's pretty solid on this map in general. This is really the only map that she is really good on. But that's a lot of camp clear coming out from Counterpick Stupid. That's gonna generate a lot of macro. Luckily, they do have the Dahaka to deal with it. Also, we do see the Johanna Anduin combo, as well as the Johanna Cassia combo, as well as the Dahaka Jaina combo. So we have lots of really solid combos coming out from Full Meta Jacket, and the Phoenix comes out yet again, meaning that Counterpick Stupid yet again has a solo frontline. Huh. Okay. It worked out last game, so who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? Either way, it'll be an interesting game, to say the least. So I'm very curious, who you guys are thinking are gonna... Who you guys are thinking is going to win this match? I mean, you guys have seen the draft. You've seen last game. Go ahead and put it in chat. Just throw it out there who you think has got this match. Actually, speaking of who you think, I'm going to pull back up the poll. It looks like Counterpick Stupid is now well ahead in the poll with 63%. Full Meta Jacket has 13% with only one solitary vote. Sad day. And 2 people think it's too close to tell. And that's fair. I honestly think it's too close to tell for for myself. However, the time for predictions is over. At least for me. It is now time to announce we have Barber on Jaina. Undead on Anduin, ironically. Mobius Trollin on Johanna. Runtime Logic on the Cassia.
The battle begins in
And
10 seconds.
yeah, Judgero Bob on Dahaka. And that's Full Metal Jacket for you. Meanwhile, on the right side, we have RTB on Kerrigan, Wit's End on the Wolf Rhaegar. We have Osprey on Lunara, well, Kimmler on Murden, that's his name. And Silma on Phoenix, going straight into the top lane. That is Can't Counterpick Stupid for you. I'm going to say the initial wave clear is going to favor the right team, especially as it's just blown up there. A bit of aggression coming out on that Rhaegar, but not leading to anything significant. Both teams rotating down bot simultaneously. Jaina a little forward with backing up just in time. And Kerrigan's looking for a dive hardcore. Spraying to show dominance. Root does land on the Rhaegar. Kind of throws him off his rhythm, it looks like. Johanna trying to harass this rotation. I have not shown talents. Kerrigan trying to combo Johanna, but very difficult with that Iron Skin. Very quickly, let's look at these talents while both teams do pick up their camps. Never mind. Both teams are not picking up their camps. So, anyway, let's look at the talents. So we have the Sentinel Wisp for the Lunara, Block for the Muradin, Fury of the Swarm for the Kerrigan, Mobile Offense for the Phoenix, Electric Charge for the Rhaegar, all pretty standard. That Sentinel Wisp is going to give them a lot of information as this game progresses. Only one hammer stack for the Muradin so far, though. We should see more as the game progresses, obviously, but if he goes for Sledgehammer, that'll help him stack his baseline quest quite quickly. Already 6 globes for the Jaina, though. And First Blood in the top lane, as Phoenix just gets completely shredded by Dahaka, apparently. Now both teams pick up their camps. Again, nothing atypical except for Frost Armor. I don't usually see a Frost Armor Jaina. But I guess against this team it makes sense. There's a lot of physical damage that comes out from these guys. So that'll give Jaina a lot more survivability. It's actually almost as much as Cassia's, which is very handy. More Lightning Shield talents for Rhaegar. We should see that pattern continuing the whole way through. Lightning Shield build's pretty solid for Rhaegar in general here. We do see Can't Counterpick Stupid getting their Shaman camps right away. As well as some more aggression coming out on this top lane. I wish I could see how much essence Dahaka has. I can only guess based on his tissue regeneration quest. But this is a tough choice for Phoenix. Does he start rotating down and let Dahaka get this free clear? And then just global in? Or does he stay up in there and fight? I'm thinking he stays up there and fights, as his Muradin is already getting completely shredded. His Kerrigan misses combo again on Johanna, because Johanna? Sorry, Kerrigan, there's nothing you can do against that Iron Skin. See, the blue team can just rest easy knowing that the Haka can show up whenever he wants, like right there! And then they can just re-engage and fight this favorably. While Phoenix takes forever to walk down comparatively to a global. But he's just going to show up pretty much just in time. Muradin does get hit with the big stun. Dahaka also getting hit with a massive root, which almost led to his death. I think that was a root, or it was a stun. No, that was had it inversed. But it does look like with a kill on a Johanna, Can't Counterpick Stupid does get the first Punisher of the game, which is an Arcane Punisher. Dahaka does successfully bait it over the wall, though, which is very useful, except for the fact that he is very low health. Can't Counterpick Stupid is moving in very quickly, but I don't think they're going to get much with this. They might. They're zoning out the enemy team. quite effectively. And yeah, that leads to a fort. Meanwhile, Phoenix is trying to catch that lead on XP. So we do see a lot of quest progression for the left team, especially compared to the right team, even though, to be fair, the right team only has one quest. Rhaegar is going to go straight for their camp yet again, which makes sense. They just finished up the objective. There's not much on the map to do. They did pick up this bot camp, which I missed. And the top shaman camp did get a fair amount of value before it went away. So we just got 10s for the right team. We do see Leaping Strikes coming out from Lunar. This does look like more of a single target build, except for Splintered Spear, but Splintered Spear goes, uh-oh, they don't see this. Enemy team doesn't see this. This is scary, especially with that Dahaka kill, which I keep missing top lane kills. But they're just sitting here waiting, and they have 10 advantage. I don't think that showed. I can't be certain, but I don't think that showed. Don't do it, Anduin. Anduin just doesn't trust that bush, and he shouldn't, as it's now revealed to be a giant trap. And a spray coming out somewhere. I missed it. Oh well. That's, we do have a front wall already down, and the next objective is mid, not top. I don't know why I thought it was top. But we do see the invade. No, they're just sitting in the bush again. They really like this bush. They should go marry this bush. I don't think it's gonna work, guys. Okay, and yeah, no, they just decide to steal it before the enemies get 10s, which they just got. Rhaegar and Myrddin just trying to zone them out, doing so successfully. Nice root coming out on the Myrddin, but not gonna get any value. Just set an Ultralisk. I don't even think the stun part of that hit. It doesn't look like he was doing any damage. That pull... I'm sorry, that Kerrigan should have died. That was a beautiful pull from the Anduin, and no one punished the Kerrigan who was pulled along with. It was a Stitches hook, but better. We do finally see 3 stacks coming out on the Myrddin, which is rough. Is very rough. I'm trying to remember what this does the whole way through. Okay, it just has a finish. I thought it was I thought it had like a halfway thing. Oh well. We do see the shamans picked up from both sides, but the Phoenix got his a little earlier. And he is up here, but that's... yeah, no, he's dead. There's no hope for that Phoenix. This puts the right team in quite an awkward position, especially with that isolation going out on the Kerrigan. Nice cleanse, though, trying to keep the Kerrigan alive. They might be able to sprinkle more damage in, but I think that Phoenix kill cost them the objective. There's a big stun coming from the Kerrigan, immediately straight into another combo. Light Bomb does come out, stunning 3 people it looked like, but the Kerrigan's still up and moving, trying to get a reset on her Q, but failing as the Anduin pull is just too powerful. They're all too low, but this is a favorable fight at this point, as they do have more resources. Big stun coming out on the Johanna, immediately with the, I forget what that's called. Purification Salvo, leading to immediately a 3-person kill. Meaning that this Punisher easily gets this fort, definitely this front wall, and possibly the keep if they play it very effectively. But it looks like instead they want to punish the enemy's XP falling behind, grabbing top. This might be a kill from Kerrigan, in all honesty. I feel like she can out-duel Dahaka all day, every day, even with that silence. They do bait the Punisher over the wall, and yeah, with only 2 here, I don't think they're actually going to take... No, they'll take the front wall. Yeah, I was right. Kerrigan can duel the Dahaka all day, every day. So they do take the front wall, but nothing else. Just trying to own the map and just getting that Dahaka kill. This does put Blue in a very awkward position as their global just died top trying to defend it. Lots of aggression coming out on this Muradin, who, as far as I'm aware, can just jump straight back out. Blessed Shield does come out just for the disengage. I don't think it was completely necessary. But even still, lots of aggression coming out from the right team now. They want this keep. The Haka's back up. They don't care. They want at least the keep wall. They might actually get the keep here. Pet Wolverine, thank you for the follow. Light Bomb coming out, hitting nothing but minions. Phoenix, though, falling very quickly, but managing to kill the Immortal that's harassing him. That's a fair amount of ults down. The right team can just disengage here and get value elsewhere, or just flat out re-engage with all their ultimates. But they decide to do the former, as they just go and pick up the camp. We are now beyond the 3 levels of death threshold, putting the left team in even further of an uncomfortable position. They may be doing very well on their camps, on their quests, but there's just... This is not a comfortable position, as the enemy can just walk over them the entire map, and you just have to wait for them to make a mistake. Which, so far, doesn't look like they're doing, as they're trying to burn down this Dahaka. Big stun coming out from the Kerrigan. Lots of damage coming out from the Phoenix as well. Kerrigan does get silenced and is forced to disengage. Light Bomb does come out, hitting the Muradin mid-jump, meaning that he no longer has his escape, but he does have Avatar, which I think is already up. Meaning that there's a massive health bar to be pulled. Speaking of pull, Johanna is pulled out instead of the Jaina, who fell dead. Johanna is very low, though, meaning that pull probably did save her life, but not for long. No, Iron Skin does keep her alive. Muradin losing a lot of health to that keep, but a lot of health for a keep, that's a trade you take any day. Do they try and push a little bit of core damage on this? It does look like it. They want to... I don't think they end here, but I do think they get a little bit of core damage. Kerrigan is heading up to prep for the objective. Lunara using her leap to get out of that very uncomfortable position. And they ended up not being able to burn any shields, but that's fine. Oh, do we see an ice... We do see an ice barrier. Yeah, that's... She's having a hard time staying alive, to be fair. But yeah, that's definitely a sign of desperation. Right team, meanwhile, feeling perfectly comfortable to do whatever they want. Left team, I'm not entirely sure what they're doing. I don't guess they're just trying to get information, because they know they can't fight this objective. But they also can't just let Muradin take core. That's pretty costly. They can't lose the objective and let Muradin take this keep. And possibly core. So yeah, they're answering this. Meanwhile, Kerrigan's just having a heyday up here, having a good grand old time. Light Bomb does go out. That looks... Yeah, there's no way that Rhaegar gets out of there. Purification Salvo does go out, but the Ice Block saves Jaina from the damage. Lots of damage coming out onto the Muradin. I think his jump is still down, though it might be up any second. There it is. I don't know if it'll save him, though, as he's still getting chased very hard. Phoenix stepping up, but they all step back. At this point, you gotta try and push this advantage. You have one enemy dead, and they're almost 20. You can't just let them walk all over you. But walk all over you, they are. It only takes one more minion for them to get this objective. They're just holding for this camp to help push, the Rhaegar to come back up. They have all the time in the world. Meanwhile, you're chasing your own tail. This is, Yep, and there's the Frozen Punisher coming out. This camp is just going to get destroyed. They're invading this camp. This is a lot of macro pressure coming out that the blue team has to deal with. Meanwhile, this Punisher, if not dealt with, takes this keep, and then you have all 3 lanes pushing on core. We do see Leap coming out to try and keep the Lunar alive. They're just trying to buy time here. They just need to wait for everything to push up, the Rhaegar to show back up. They have all the time in the world. Meanwhile, the left team desperately needs to get a kill right now. Meanwhile, there goes the last keep. The Punisher is very healthy at this point and still pushing on this keep. Look at this position. This is a very difficult position. They could come back, but they'd need to do a full team wipe and probably multiple times over. The right team needs to make several mistakes at this point to come back out of this. And so far, yep, nope, there goes Dahaka. Light Bomb misses. There goes Jaina, and that's game. There's no coming back from this. GGs are being called. And GG indeed. As Can't Counterpick Stupid dominates Full Meta Jacket on the final match of tonight. I meant to go to match summary first. So here are the stats at the end of the game. The last game of the series. GG all. Let me just update my standings and stuff. And there we go. Very welcome. Alright, so anyone curious of how the game ended, this is more or less the summary of tonight's matchup between Full Meta Jacket and Counterpick Stupid. Both with first pick and map pick, they lost. Full Meta Jacket lost to Can't Counterpick Stupid. The map bans are obviously there. GG's to everyone involved. And thank you guys who are joining me for this stream. I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did. I apologize for being awkward. But yeah, it was a pleasure hosting this cast. I still have the stats up and everything if anyone has any questions. And I'll be around for a little bit longer saying goodbye to everyone. Very quickly, I do want to see what the ending poll was. It looks like it was exactly the same as I left it off. So yeah, thank you all for joining me. I know I wasn't super talkative in chat. Yeah, I still am pretty new to this and was more focused on the cast than chat. But yeah. Looks like there's no questions or anything. So, I'll have to see you all next time. See y'all around. Forgot that I don't have an ending slide. We'll end this way.